We have Mr. Anurag Katria, the trustee at the National Restaurant Association of India, that represents over 5 lakh restaurants and an industry that's valued at 5.69 lakh crore rupees as well, to give us an understanding of what truly is the on-ground picture. Warm welcome to you, sir. Thank you so much for taking the time out. Well, of course, since morning we've been tracking how the restaurant industry, the hotel industry has been voicing concerns that, a stopping of the commercial supply of LPG will lead to some closures at the restaurants' end. What's the on-ground picture? Have you already seen some restaurants closing because of this disruption? And what if this continues for some more days?
So thank you so much for having me here. As of now, I have not heard of any direct news of any restaurants shutting down.
Okay.
But there is definitely a lot of panic. There is a lot of panic and there is a lot of confusion. Panic is coming because we don't know what is happening next, and confusion is because various agencies are giving various pictures. We don't know what exactly is the policy of the government. We don't know because some people are saying government has completely banned the supply of commercial LPG. Then the OMCs are writing messages to the restaurants saying, no, that is not true. It is all, then we saw some message from the Distributor Association. I think right now what we really need to do, there is a lot of anxiety for sure. What we need is a very clean and crisp statement from the government on what is the real status. Once we know the real status, we can understand the impact, we can find solutions as well. So I think right now we are at a stage where we are all, waiting for the official words on this. There is on ground, there is a scarcity of supply for sure, but it is not completely stopped in every place. Some places, yes, it has.
Okay, so scarcity of LNG at this point in time, it hasn't stopped completely into your knowledge at this point in time. Closures of restaurants, still it's not in your knowledge. But how long can restaurants sustain with the current supplies or the inventory which is with them?
So, you have to look at it a little differently. So organized restaurants, large restaurants may have a gas bank of their own. Some of them may have the gas pipeline with them. They may last for a few more days. But my heart really goes out for those small restaurateurs, the roadside vendors, the small restaurateurs who get one cylinder at a time, and they don't have an alternate source of cooking. See, in a restaurant, you may still be frying, you may still be, boiling. You may use induction as a source of energy. But for these smaller ones, it's a much bigger problem, honestly. And I think if the supply is not restored, or at least if there is no semblance of normalcy coming in, this is going to play out very differently as we go forward.
So what are the restaurateurs telling you, sir? What are their biggest concerns at this point in time?
As I said, the biggest concern is we need to know what is the stand of the government going forward. We all know there is a global crisis. We all understand the supply chain is impacted. But how is it impacting us? Tell us if commercial kitchen cylinders are going to be supplied to the restaurants, yes or a no. If yes, whether in full quantity or not, or whether in truncated quantity at a price higher or lower, whatever it is. Once we have that, then only we can devise any strategy going forward. We are in it as responsible corporate citizens. We understand there is a global crisis. We are with the government in doing whatever. But tell us the reality. Tell us very clearly where we stand.
But Mr. Katria, was any of this penciled in when the conflict started? It's already the 11th or the 12th day when West Asia crisis, conflict has been ongoing. Of course, every day there have been, newer developments. But 4 or 5 days ago, when we actually heard about the Qatar Energy and the disruption on the LNG front, did some of the restaurateurs already started to, probably provision for what could be in the offing, or has this come absolutely out of the blue?
No, I think some of them started. I mean, whether you call them proactive behavior or hoarding, I don't know. You can choose the right word. But yes, some people were already creating some capacities for themselves. But by and large, we were not expecting that, our energy situation is not so bad as a country. So, what has come out of the blue is some circular on 5th of March, which said there'll be no supply of commercial LPG to the restaurants. And that is where the panic has really triggered from.
Absolutely.
And then beyond that, so many contradictory statements coming from various authorities and no official word coming from the ministry is what is creating more confusion today.
Absolutely. If I have to ask you, in case the current situation persists, what are the chances, what is the percentage of the restaurants that will face closure?
Honestly, I'll put it in a very simplistic way. Not more than 10% of the restaurants in the country, I would assume, I don't have a clear-cut data, will be on piped gas. Everybody else is surviving on the LPG supplies. And if there is a complete stoppage of that, then I leave it for you to conjecture how many will shut down. I think everybody will have to shut down. I can't be cooking without a gas, just like I can't prepare a butter chicken without chicken.
What do these situations really lead to? Is there a need for reimagination, for reinvention, to look at in this new changing world order where geopolitics has been the name of the game? What do you think the industry is thinking at this point?
Right now, I'm just hoping and assuming that this is a one-off situation, and this is a one-off crisis that we are facing. Because if this becomes a norm, then we'll all have to find some alternate source of business. Forget running a restaurant then. Because see, we may talk about alternate sources like induction and all, but they have their own limitations. They have their own limitations. Now imagine what happens if restaurants shut down. There are so many people living in large cities who are dependent on food delivery for their meals. There are students, there are paying guest people, there are so many people. So it is very, very critical. It's not like something which is discretionary only. If you recollect, even during COVID, we were allowed to run the restaurants because government understood that we are a crucial service in the market.
Absolutely.
So I think we are hoping that some clarity will come in by the end of the day. We have already written to the minister. We have already written to the minister a couple of days back, and we are hoping for a reply very soon.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.